So in today's cheeky markets, Bitcoin price action seems to be at a 50-50 chance to either break to the upside or to the downside. I want to give some comments on this and also on BAKKT because this could potentially be the catalyst that we have been waiting for. Altcoins seem to have had a small rally, but is this the true altcoin cycle? And in last week's crypto news, 20% of the UK millennials actually invest in cryptocurrencies, the CME Group is planning on launching Bitcoin options in 2020, and Binance.us opens doors to investors. So if you're curious about it, just chill and keep watching. Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, and this is your host, the Cheeky Entrepreneur. So guys, I hope that you like the new setup that I've been reworking a little bit of the design and just to make it look a little bit better. It's always good to work on the channel. I really like doing all these videos, as I've told you, and I really want to keep improving the quality and also the content. Well, in any case guys, before jumping into today's Bitcoin technical analysis, you know, before I've recommended other channels, and this is just because this channel is all about teaching you. I don't really see anyone as a competition. I just really see a market, and I just really see a lot of people that they don't really know what they're doing. I've been through a lot of downs, I've been through a lot of ups in cryptocurrencies, also in trading in general, and I really want to find some purpose and teaching other people. Having said this, one of the channels that I keep that I am still watching regularly is Crypto Kirby, and I want to comment some more on his past videos because what he basically says is that he is expecting a lot of volatility, which I think it's very safe to say, and he did mention in a past video that we might find some wicks to the upside and then go to the downside, or to the downside from to the upside, and all this could be created by BAKKT. And even though it's merely speculation at this moment in time, I do want to bring some more points because I think that's not very crazy to expect. I mean, just take a look at this week right here. It was just very big, and I think that was a preemptive move of what is yet to come. Now, first of all, comments about Bitcoin futures. If you know, when the first CME futures actually came out, that's basically where the peak of Bitcoin was, and then all the downfall came after that. But why? I want to inject a little bit of logic to all this, and the reason is because before there was not a really secure, let's say, way of shorting Bitcoin. You have all these kind of shady exchanges that were very small at that time, where you could leverage to the downside and you could actually short Bitcoin. But in reality, because there was no official way to shorting them, that's why it was a good incentive to actually short when the Bitcoin futures came out over that period of time. Now, having said that, this is not the same case because we already have those futures, we have other products, we have other brokers that are getting more and more, let's say, reputation, which makes them a little bit more believable. Now, that's the first thing. The second thing is that, of course, people are saying that the BAKKT in itself is very bullish, and I just want to talk a little bit more on this because it has both sides. First thing is that they should already have bought enough Bitcoin to have this kind of insurance, because in the end it's a product where they are really putting sellers against buyers. Yeah, it's Bitcoin settled, which is I'm gonna talk more about it and why this is mainly bullish, but in the end they are not buying more Bitcoin, or they should already have the Bitcoin to settle any kind of insurance if necessary. Now, the thing here is that probably if people are gonna be trading using this BAKKT is because they still want to hold Bitcoin, is because they still seem to care about it, or at least think that it will have value in the future, because if not, you would only use a future settle in a normal USD. Now, while I think this is quite a little bit more bullish than a bearish, still, if people want to withdraw out their gains, if people actually want to take some of their profits, they will have to dump Bitcoin, they will have to sell it in order to get USD. So in reality, I think if you inject logic, if you inject rationality to the market and to what BAKKT could bring to the table, it's pretty neutral. It might be a little bit bullish, but I think overall it's pretty neutral. And that's basically the thing. I mean, we know that markets are never rational. There's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of irrationality, and that's why I think we are still gonna get a very huge move after this day, and that's what I still think. We are still gonna get a very huge move either to the downside or to the upside, probably tomorrow, or we'll have to wait and see at the end of the week. Well, in any case, guys, I just wanted to say that just to keep it out of the way, because I think the technical analysis is pretty straightforward, so I'm gonna really go very quick on this. Here again in the daily chart, first thing that we see, and I talked about this last video, is the volume, guys. Volume is decreasing a lot, and the only thing that means is that there's gonna be a lot of volatility when that breaks to the upside or to the downside. Now again, I'm just gonna say what I see for each side. Bearish side, of course, we are still in this descending triangle. It is a bearish formation. We are still respecting. I mentioned last video some of the potential entries that that I actually missed, but regardless of that, how the pressure was coming to the downside. So we not only have that formation, we also have these two EMAs that are gonna be a very heavy resistance up ahead. Now, having said this, it's very here it's becoming a more 50-50, and the reason is because even though this is a bearish formation, now the stochastics have been going down, and we see that they are actually oversold. And not only that, but we have seen a strong support to get this 10,000 level. This 10K has been extremely important. We see all these weeks around here, and we even see that after dumping the price, immediately people and immediately probably bots bought the price back up, and it seems that we are still hanging around there. So this is a very strong level for both bears and bulls. Of course, guys, what I'm still expecting is that if we truly break to the upside, the momentum could continue to the upside. Maybe we would retest some previous highs that we had before, so that's gonna be very interesting. But if we actually break to the downside, and if we actually break down to this level, we could potentially see some big moves to the downside, but at this point it's very uncertain because both of these outcomes could be really feasible. Now, guys, coming into the 4-hourly chart, we have seen all these boxes play along, and I think it has been an amazing opportunity to actually buy and sell at key support levels. I mean, just look at this, how many times we have found support here, and if you would have bought Bitcoin there, or if you would have long, there's a very good opportunities to actually selling here and then switch off, then shorting around here, then do the exact same thing. And that's what I've been doing when I can, when the price actually meet my targets. But in any case, what we really need to notice is that since we are still on a very structure, if we take a look at the ribbon, for instance, here, it is actually on the bearish side, because we could potentially retest that, but we could have a strong move to the downside as well. Now here I'm gonna give credit, well, a lot of credit to the bulls, because even though we are still on a bearish structure, we have seen some of these movements where they try to retest this support box, and the price actually goes to the upside. It hasn't been only once. Then here, when the price actually break down all the way to 9.6, immediately people start buying and the price bounce once more. And I think this is quite bullish, because once the bear tried to push the price down here, even, I mean, you can see it, just when the box starts, people started buying and the price went up again. Now this is the reason why I'm saying it's still 50-50, because yeah, the more times you actually touch a resistance or a support, the more times the price goes in there, it basically weakens the strength. So you could say that this support box have been touched by the price a lot, and it might actually break to the downside. In any case, guys, I think we need a catalyst. I think tomorrow and next week is gonna be very interesting, and I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see these huge moves within this week. Now, coming to the Bitcoin dominance, it has been one of the most interesting charts to watch, if I'm all honest. Here, if you remember past weeks, I've said and I've repeated so many times the importance of this 20 EMA and how it has held a lot of support, and even mentioned that I did took some shorts on altcoins around there, and I took some quick profits. And here guys, what we see is that we finally broke this line, and of course if you should have expected this downfall, which means that the altcoins actually rally in contrast to Bitcoin. Now guys, even though this could potentially be the catalyst for an altcoin rally, I still see a lot of signals that might say that we are actually gonna go up. And I said before that I think it's more probable for the Bitcoin dominance to go all the way to the 80% than it's to really go back down. And even more now that we have BAKKT, Bitcoin is gonna get even more relevance. People are gonna be interested in trading Bitcoin, and then when all the hype of Bitcoin is is gonna go down, then that's when people might try to trade or might try to buy other alternatives, other altcoins. Now here to support the bullish case for the Bitcoin dominance, of course, the stochastics all the oversold. This means that the momentum to go to the downside might be over. It seems that they are trying to go up. If we take a look at the RSI, same case, it's near the oversold territory, so it's there's more space to go to the upside than continue going to the downside. And if it was not enough, I've marked this resistance box, support box that we are around here, and if you see, it actually held perfect support around there. The price went there, and it seems that it could be bouncing. Of course, we now have these two EMAs that could present some resistance, but there's a big chance that this actually can continue going up. Now, as a matter of fact, I did short some altcoins. I did short XRP around here, and the reason is because I was expecting the Bitcoin dominance going up, and also it's one of the weakest altcoins out there. I think with all this thing about Ripple and being sued, and if it's a security or not, it's enough for the price to actually go down. Well, in any case guys, that's for the technical analysis. I wanted to keep brief, I wanted to keep it fast, and the reason is because the real move is gonna come this week. I mean, we have already discussed the signals. We already know that there's a potential catalyst coming even tomorrow. So having said that, I want to get into the crypto news of last week. 20% of affluent UK millennials have invested in Bitcoin. London-based law firm Michaelmore's LLP has surveyed affluent millennials in the United Kingdom and discovered that 20% have invested in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The survey reported that Forex Street revealed that among those born between 1981 and 1996 with investable assets of £25,000 or more, 20% had invested in the new asset class. As Forex Street notes, this 20% figure is markedly higher than the national average of 3%, indicating that well-off millennials in the UK are almost 7 times more likely to invest in cryptocurrencies than the general public. And guys, I don't think this is a surprise. I think, millennials particularly, I'm a millennial, most of the people that are actually in this industry right now are millennials, and the reason is that we are open to new ideas, we comprehend where this comes from, and we understand it. So I think this is reason enough for us to try and invest in this new asset class. CME Group to launch options on Bitcoin futures in Q1 2020. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group is adding options to its Bitcoin futures contracts in the first quarter of 2020, pending regulatory review. Based on increasing client demand and robust growth in our Bitcoin futures markets, we believe the launch of options will provide our clients with additional flexibility to trade and hedge their Bitcoin price risk. McCourt added that the new products are intended to help institutions and professional traders manage spot market Bitcoin exposure, as well as enable them to hedge Bitcoin futures positions in a regulated exchange environment. And guys, I just think that it's kind of off to have so many financial products with something that is not even that liquid as of right now. I think if you compare Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency market to, for instance, Forex, if you compare it to stocks, if you compare it to anything else, commodities, you will see that there's not as much liquidity as it is there. So this makes me think if this is actually preventing this kind of volatility, or in fact it's making more volatility because more people are concentrated on trading these products than actually trading Bitcoin, and that is one of the main reasons, at least in my opinion, that why the market is not clearly adopted, because in reality if all this money went into buy Bitcoin, or at least into buy and sell, the more positions there's in the market, the more liquidity, the less the volatility there will be. So I just think this is kind of ironic, but well, nevertheless it's bringing more interest and it's bringing more investors into this market. Binance.us opens registration today, excluding 13 states. Binance.us United States branch of major cryptocurrency exchange Binance announced that the opening of accounts registration scheduled for Wednesday will not include New York, Washington, Florida, and 10 more states. Although it is upsetting that we cannot offer Binance.us in these states at this time, please rest assured that this is just the beginning, and it is our mission to bring access to those of you in these states many of us call home. Once the registration process started, Binance.us will begin accepting inbound transfers of Bitcoin, Ether, Ripples, and Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Tether, and USD upon appropriate account verification. Additionally, according to the announcement, there would be no trading fees until November 1st. And of course guys, as you know, Binance is one of the biggest players in this industry, and they are on top of everything now. Registering in the US gives them a better chance to actually compete against Coinbase. And of course, the more competition, the better. It's always good to have competition so that these platforms can still be developing, can still bring more to their clients, and pretty much try to bring more adoption to this industry. Well, in any case guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, and only if you did, mind subscribing and also push that like button. Now guys, I think during this week I'll try to upload a new video on my Cheeky trading series. I've been talking about this trading log that I've been developing. I actually have version 2.0. I've been using it for almost a month and a half, and I think it's quite ready for me to actually give it to you so that you can actually use it. And in all honesty, it has really helped me a lot in my trading. I think it has the better things of the last template that I have. And to be honest, well, I'm gonna make a video about it. I just wanted to let you know guys, because I'm still working on this channel. I'm still working on more ideas for new content. And well guys, if you want to support my channel, please just share the videos, maybe subscribe. That really helps me a lot. But in any case guys, just as usual, I would like to remind you all, stay smart, stay bold, but most important of all, stay cheeky. Take care guys.